Hey Wanderers, how are you? It is a Sunday one take and it is Super Bowl Sunday. And yes, I know my team is not in the Super Bowl, but I feel like if you don't take every opportunity to wear your team's jerseys, like when would you ever get the money back for
Especially
those
this team.
expenditures? Well, yeah, I mean, I'd like to point out that there are a few worse, but yes, I totally agree with you. So if you don't wear it on the days that, you have an opportunity to,
They
then
just
when are
sit
you?
in your closet.
Yeah, they just sit in your closet and you would never take them out. Welcome. And a one take is a moment where we sit down and talk about a topic and there are no edits. So if we make a stumble or we make a flub, you're going to hear it. I'd like to take a moment to welcome all people who may not have been here before. We have picked up over 400 subscribers, and I have to thank you very much. The algorithm is paying attention, and that is fantastic. That's going to allow us to do some different kinds of videos, some of which we're going to start beginning this coming week with some more kind of content. And we see that there's a it's worthwhile to do so, so we're going to do that. So look forward to that. For those who are joining on your first one take, my name is Steve.
And I'm Laura.
And we are the Wandering Empty Nesters. And today's topic is about one-way travel versus round trip. And I know for a lot of you, that is like, what's the topic here? You just pick round trip. You pick one way when you're going to go somewhere, and then you're going to find another way home, or you're going to take a car. Well, as a former road warrior, I can tell you that I lived on one-way tickets. And now that I feel that, personally, that loyalty is diluted because either your points have little value than what they once were, or just about everything costs more unless you are at the top tier, which is hard to achieve for the things I just mentioned. I think it's worthwhile. And the flexibility is beyond what you might think about. So let's break it down on what it looks like. I think most people book one-way tickets because that's just the convenient. You choose
It's
where
just
you're
what we
leaving.
were taught to do.
Well, and most websites, when you go to it, that's the default settings.
Mhm.
It's set on one way. Where are you leaving from? Where are you going to? What day do you want to leave on? And what day do you want to come back on? And that's it, right? And that's the most that most people want to do, which I get that. And it's another reason to get maybe a travel advisor to help you out with these things, which of course doesn't cost anything. But here's the difference. And I know that business travel is a little bit different than personal travel, but I do book all of our tickets one way. And I'm
Mhm.
sure you realize that as you go through the various apps I've installed on your phone. And you're like, which ticket is, who are we flying here with? And, I'm like, check the
I can't
itinerary,
keep up.
check the itinerary. It's listed there. So as an example, coming up, so we've got a Frontier flight from Cincinnati to,
Mm,
well, the Denver's the connection. We won't even
connection.
discuss connections necessarily. And we're going to Houston. And the reason we're doing that is because there's more flights and a lot less expensive flights and shorter flights that don't take a long time with multiple connections, obviously from Houston down to Puerto Vallarta. In Houston, the next day we'll hop on a United flight. Then coming back is another United flight, but it's not part of a round trip. Because I didn't want to go back to Houston next, I just want, well, vacation's over. You don't want to struggle through the whole next day. So I did just choose Puerto Vallarta to Cincinnati, but that's another one way. Something you said about connections that, might confuse people. And let me just get it out there real quick. So there is this thing called skip lagging. So people might be hearing this and going, wait, isn't that illegal? Like, don't they get mad when you do that? The airlines do not care if you book one ways. They really do not. Now, skip lagging is a different thing. Skip lagging is when someone sees that the connection of a particular flight is where they really want to be. So let's say that we wanted to go to Denver and we saw that flying to Denver was one price, but flying to Houston with a Denver connection was cheaper. So you're like, well, why don't we just get off in Denver, which is where we want to be, and it's cheaper. And that's true. And this is also called hidden cities. Now, the thing about this is it's not illegal in any way, but the airlines don't like it. Think
Mhm.
about it like card counting in
And you
Vegas.
better carry on.
Sure, yeah, you don't, yeah, absolutely. You want to do a carry on. Well, think about it like card counting in Vegas. Card counting is not illegal, but if you get caught doing it, you're not going to be playing in that casino or
Right.
any casino very long. Now, the airlines aren't quite as connected, but that's not what we're talking about. I don't want to get too deep on it. It's not the topic here. We're talking about one ways. So back to what I was saying. So we have 3 one ways coming up. And a lot of people, and this is maybe an old school thought, and maybe it was a thing in the day. Well, isn't it just more expensive to do one ways? Because it seems like it, right?
Well, that's what we were taught.
They're packaging it,
Yeah.
right? And what I'm going to tell you is that if it is more expensive, that it's generally because you have flexed into more preferred flights. So maybe you wanted to leave early because who doesn't want to start their vacation right away? And so you choose that 7 a.m. flight going down. That's one price. But on the way back, you're like, well, I'd like to maximize my time in the hotel and they don't get kicked out till 11 o'clock. And maybe I can get an extension so I don't have to leave till 1. So I want that 4 p.m. flight.
I think in the beginning, when, talking about one way, it kind of scared me because I thought, well, what if we can't get a flight home? What if there are no flights on the day we want to go home? We'd be stuck. So I think I have learned that that is not the case, but that is what scared me in the
Well,
beginning.
that's a great point. And so you should always check both.
Of course.
I mean, obviously, one ways, while they can satisfy necessarily some financial or airlines, you're obviously not going for loyalty here, although you will build points on multiple airlines at a slower pace. Um, if you are very rigid about having to be from point A to point B and timelines, then round trip might work. You should price them. So I priced our Puerto Arte trip from one ways to round trip. I took the exact legs, the flights they were on, and I booked them one way. And I booked them round trip. I didn't book them. I priced them one way and
Mhm.
I priced them round trip. The difference for one way was the $16 difference. And I'm going to tell you because I did that within what now, 4 days of the flight. There might have been more effect there because of the closeness than if I had done it back when I booked them. There's always more pricing flexibility when you're booking, out. And depending on who you talk to, I typically believe the sweet spot is somewhere in the 6 to 8 week mark. Different people will tell you different things. But I may have seen a tighter or no difference whatsoever at that. But $16 is still decent if you're looking at being able to do your various legs. So what's the advantage? Well, number one, like I said, choosing the flights that you want. So maybe you're looking at, hey, United down, they got the perfect flight I want. But oh no, I want that 4 p.m. trip. United doesn't have one on the way back. Oh, but American does,
Mm.
or Delta does, or somebody else does. I can book them instead. And that's where it really comes in and shines. Beyond the fact that sometimes empty nesters like ourselves, you might go,
It's cold at home. I don't want to go
thank
home.
you. Thank you very much. We might go, hey, you know what? I'm seeing back on the news at home, it's going to be like negative values. Let's just stay another 3 days to a week,
You say 3 weeks.
3 weeks, whatever. Hey, I can work from anywhere. Okay. So anyway, you can extend your stay. So two things happen. Round trip tickets are notoriously difficult to break apart, especially the first leg. So if you decide you have to leave later or whatever, you pretty much got to cancel the whole thing unless you booked up as a refundable, which most people are not booking refundables of anything because they don't want to pay the extra price. And we can talk about with cruises and that, how sometimes that's actually more beneficial when you talk about the penalty. But airlines typically don't have a penalty where they take so much and refund the difference like hotels or cruises do. It's usually just say all cancel or nothing. So they're notoriously difficult to break apart and or make changes on. Now there's a caveat, and I'll get back to it. So one way allows you the flexibility to say, oh, I'm going to just cancel this single half, or I'm going to move this single half from this day to this day, not going to cancel it, just going to pick another flight and they'll let you do it. If you go in, and I've tried this, if you say, hey, I want to take this leg and I want to pick a different flight and you haven't flown it yet, but you're like, I want to do it different on the return. I booked the one way or I booked the round trip. It's not refundable. And we decided we're going to spend already an extra time there. So I just want to change its return date. 9 out of 10 times, they will not let you. They'll tell you to cancel the whole thing and rebook it. And you may lose every bit of the amount. You might not get anything back. That happened to us, or I was just playing with it on Frontier. Now, a lot of people say, well, Steve, the difference is Frontier is a low cost carrier. Well, we used to classify low cost carriers because they would nickel and dime you for everything. The old memes about, oh, you want to use the restroom? Okay, that's $10. You have a seatbelt, that's $25. But here's the facts. Bodley's doing that now. You will book a ticket now that doesn't look in any way, it's not basic, just an economy ticket, because even there's basic economy, whatever that means, it means back by the bathroom, but basic economy. And then you go and I get seat selection with this, because basic economy, usually you will get your seat assigned. So you see economy and it says you can choose your seat. Fantastic. I'll pay a little bit more for economy. That means I get a little bit better positioning and I get to pick my seat. And then you go pick your seat. And every single seat on the aircraft, oh, that's $5 more. That's $10 more. That's $78 more. So what exactly did you pay for other than the choice of paying more right away?
Right.
So let's forget the low cost carrier talk and just admit that all carriers are the same now. So flexibility, being able to choose your timelines. And again, it's about flexibility. Now it can be a little bit pricier. And the caveat I was going to make on that point was, and remind me what the point was. This is why we don't edit these, because you get these funny parts.
I don't
What was I
remember.
going to go back to?
I don't remember what the caveat was.
Oh, it was something to do with changing.
That's okay. Just
Yeah.
move on. It'll
Hey,
come back.
if you're like Steve, you're going to talk about this and then you didn't, and I was curious. Hey, let me know down in the comments because I just had a mental lock and forgot where I was going with it. So the rule of thumb is always check them both. Check your round trip, price it, but then break it apart. Or more easier for you, ask your travel advisor, hey, give me pricing on both these,
Mhm.
and they will. And let me just tell you right now, travel advisor, they're absolutely making no money on booking an
Airfare.
airfare. If
Mm-mm.
you go to your travel advisor and say, hey, I want to
It's
just
just a
book,
service we
yeah,
offer.
I want to book this flight. I don't need a car. I don't need a hotel. I'm staying at grandma's house and I just need the flight. Look, we're going to book it for you.
Mhm.
But please understand that all the work we did, we didn't make a single dime on because the airlines, unlike everybody else, does not include travel agents in their pricing and they
Right.
don't pay travel agents anything. We're doing that as a service in the hopes that you will grace us when you actually go on vacation somewhere where you are booking it. And again, all of it's going to be for free. You're not going to see any of it. But remember, nobody likes to work for free, and neither do we. So, which do you think is going to work for you? Had you even ever considered doing a one-way flight, breaking apart a round trip and doing it in one way and versions and seeing what that would do for you? Let me know down in the comments. Are you now a fan of? Are you just a fan of one round trips, or are you a one-way free agent? See, I wanted to work that football thing in there, and I was stumbling over it. Let us know down in the comments. Thank you very much. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so, and let's get those numbers up. We are approaching 500. We just want to go, 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 and make that algorithm really think how great our content is because we believe it's valuable, and we hope you do too. Let us know your thoughts on today's comment. We'll see you again on the next One Take. Stay wonder-worthy.
Thanks for spending a little time with us today. If you enjoyed this and want more insider tips, real travel stories, and deals that make your bucket list closer than you think, be sure to scan the QR code, hit subscribe, or follow. Why? Because every week we bring you ideas that save you money, inspire your next adventure, and show you how to travel smarter without the stress. Don't just dream about travel, make it happen with us. Follow now so you never miss your next chance to wander worthy.